Point location. This is a video about finding Ling and Dabai. This is a paired set of points that are almost always used together. The main function of these points is for treating low back and sciatica pain. So low back pain on one side or the other, or classic sciatica pain. First, just to know about these points, you will always use them on the opposite side. So if I have sciatic pain on my left side, I'm going to use the points on my right side. If I have sciatic pain on my left side, on my right side, I'll use it on my left hand. So the hand is the one opposite where the pain is. If you have pain on both sides, usually one side or the other is worse. So if it's worse on the right side, use your left hand. If it's completely equal, well, that might be a different issue. Or you can do a treatment of acupressure or virtual acupuncture attacks on one side and follow that up later on the other side. Okay, but you don't generally use them at the same time together. It just doesn't kind of work energetically. All right, so I'm going to show you how to locate these points on my right hand. If I was actually treating my right hand, that of course would mean that the pain was on my left side. So these points are located on the bone in the hand that connects and is related to the index finger. So positioning your hand like this actually works pretty well for finding these points. It also happens to work in the video, but I think it's a great way to find the point. So this is my index finger, and if I keep coming along towards my hand, this bone that I'm pressing on now is the bone related to this finger. I have my hands in this kind of position. It's quite easy. We just come along here, come right over the knuckle here, keep going, and if you start pressing along here, you'll feel, here's the knuckle, and then you'll feel, oh, flat bone. This is all flat, and then there's a point where it starts to widen. We might call that another knuckle. It kind of looks like that if you see a picture of the actual bone. And so right in here, close to where this bone meets the bone of the thumb, this is where the point is. These points are both found by palpation, by tenderness. So you're going to start at this lowest where the bone starts to flare out, and you're going to press. Okay, mine's a little bit tender. I happen to have left-sided low back and hip pain. Oh, wow. Okay, so that's much more tender. This less so. So this really tender one is the one I want. So this is a little point, so these are good to mark. You can mark it. So right now, if I press hard with my fingernail, both I'm giving myself a little acupressure treatment, and when I pull that away, I'm not sure you'll be able to see that on the camera, but I can see a definite mark there that tells me that's my point. If fingernails don't work for you, you could do the same thing. Find it the same way, and then look at it closely as you move your hand, and then touch it with a Sharpie to mark it. Either way works. Okay, so that's Ling. That's the one closest to the thumb. Dabai, we come up here, and again, this knuckle, just as I come over the knuckle, and the knuckle flattens out into the flat part of the bone. This is Ling. Did I say that was Ling? So Ling, Dabai. I'm going to press, not too tender. Dabai is almost never quite as tender as Ling, but we're going to find it. Oh, yeah, okay. And that's usually how these points are. It's like, you can't miss them. So again, I'm pressing downwards on towards the bone in this position. If I was doing this on my own, I don't have to have my hand exactly like that, but this is a good way to learn how to do it. Okay, so there we go. I'm marking that with my fingernail. Now I have two little marks with my fingernail. I can hopefully I have my tacks already prepped if I'm using a tack, and I can apply those boom and boom with like a little band-aid. These points respond really well to acupressure. Some points I have found historically don't seem to respond as well. These do. So anytime you're having pain, even if you haven't been taught how to do virtual acupuncture or run out of tacks, just find them and hold them. So once I find it, I'm going to rest my hand somewhere comfortable. But these ones, I usually counsel sort of a middle way, like, oh, that's really hard, and this is too late and somewhere in the middle. That's good, but I use a little extra pressure for Ling Dabai. Especially if there's a lot of pain. Maybe I'm just creating more of an endorphin rush because I'm causing pain here. I don't know. But, don't hurt yourself by pressing so hard, but don't be afraid to elicit a pretty strong response with these points. If you're doing acupressure, then breathe into them. And you'll find if you keep a steady pressure that after 30 seconds or already it's loosening. That means I'm moving the chi in the affected area by using this point. So I would keep at that. I might press a little bit harder. After a minute or two, I'm going to go to the second point. And even better is to do what I just said, hold, but do a little walking while you're doing the points if you can. If it's too painful, obviously not, but if you can move a little bit while you're manipulating the points, that will just make them all the more effective. All right, that's how you find Ling Gu, Da Bai. Again, they are on both sides of the, you know, you can find them in your right hand, your left hand, and you'll use them in the hand opposite the ping. Good luck.